Hello and welcome. I am Mr. Kuchma to all of you grade 9 students, and to parents, my name is Anthony. I am the grad advisor for the interior of British Columbia. There's a few of us grad advisors in the online school. We each have different regions, so I oversee the interior. And next year, this upcoming year, is a big year where you guys are going to be entering into the grad program. So grades 10, 11, 12. These can be scary years because now there's a transcript. You're thinking about post-secondary. You're just trying to graduate. There's different obstacles that are going to be ahead. I'm wanting to send this quick video because today is Monday, April 8th. And my wife has a booked C-section for Wednesday, April 10th, in 2 days, literally less than 48 hours. And she is going to be delivering our third child, and I'll be taking some time off. So I'm not going to be answering my phone, and my emails will be a little bit sporadic, but I wanted to just quickly connect with you guys and give you guys some information about this upcoming school year. There's a lot of exciting things, and I want to get you ready for it. So I want to just go through a couple quick things to hopefully ease your guys' tension. Number one, courses. That's obviously going to be the biggest one. Attached to the email that this is coming through is your course planner. The course planner is really, really important. Some of the names are going to change, so please just be aware. Curriculum is changing in the high school. So, for instance, like I teach apprenticeship and workplace math 11. In the next school year, it's going to be simply called workplace math 11. So they're losing the apprenticeship. So there's going to be some name changes, but the 80 credits and most of the things on that document are going to be things that you need to think about and things that you need to check off your list to graduate. On that note, let's quickly talk about some courses. So in the grad program, you don't need to think of grade 10 as only taking grade 10 courses, and grade 11 as only taking grade 11 courses, and then grade 12 as only taking grade 12 courses. In the grad program, it's a lot more open-ended than that. And unfortunately, grade 10 ends up being usually the hardest year for students because they take all the grade 10 courses. And grade 10 has all of the required courses. Math 10 is required, English 10 is required, Social Studies 10 is required, Science 10 is required, PE 10 is required. There's a course called Career Life Education, which has replaced Planning 10. There's Christian Studies 10, and then if you want a second language, it's it's Spanish or French 10 or German 10 or something 10. And then if you want to take an elective like music or art, and that's 9 courses. That's more than you can fit into a single school year. So what you can do is you can spread some things out. To graduate, you only need a Math 11 credit. You don't actually need Math 12, though if you're going to post-secondary, lots of programs require you to have Math 12. So, for instance, if you want to split some things up, you can opt to not take Math 10 in grade 10, and in grade 11, you can take Math 10. And then once you're in grade 12, you can take Math 11, and then you have your math credits to graduate. That leaves a course open in grade 10 to take an elective or just take a course off. Each course is worth 4 credits, and you need 80 credits to graduate. So on average, you need to take 7 courses per year to graduate. And once you enter into the grad program, you don't have to schedule your courses the same way that you did in the kindergarten to grade 9 program. So that's one big difference. Most students split their courses up into semesters, meaning maybe you pair math and science in a term 1, which you start in September and you go until January. Once those courses are completed, then you can start English and Social Studies. And those courses can be completed from January to June. You're not doing all 4 courses September to June, but you're instead dividing time up and just focusing on that. And you can do that within a single year. Let's say you're in grade 11. In the first semester, from September to January, you can take Math 10. And then in the second semester, from January to June, you can take Math 11. and you can, just flow from one course right to the other. And lots of students do that. So obviously you're probably gonna have a ton of questions for me about planning your courses, and I will definitely be there to help you, just not for the month of April, and maybe a little bit into May, as we balance getting the family together with, we're becoming a family of 5, so the kids are gonna be outnumbering us. It'll be a little bit crazy. So anyway, please take a look over the course planner, print it off, and try to just understand some of the courses that are listed there. Next thing that I want to talk about is course delivery options. All of our courses are offered either online or individualized. Some might be hybrid instead of individualized. And again, we can talk about that, but basically it's going to be fairly similar to what you've experienced in your kindergarten to grade 9 time, where you're going to have an individualized course that is mostly through a curriculum that you purchase, and there's funding for that. And then an online course, if you've taken an online course before, you know what they're like. Everything is provided, and you go through the course. Now, I mentioned funding, and that's another thing that I really want to talk about, because funding is very different when you enter the grad program. In the kindergarten to grade 9 program, you should be used to having funding based on the per student. So you get a allotted amount of money for your family, for your student who's in kindergarten to grade 9, and that is given to you at the beginning of the year, and you can spend on that in the curriculum that you have for the year. In the grad program, we are funded per course, so it's not the same at all. But if you take an individualized course, you get $100 of funding for that course. Now, if you take, so I teach an individualized math course. If you take my individualized math course, you'll use your $100 of funding to do things like purchase the textbook, purchase a video subscription if you want it, and to purchase a solution manual if you want it. Only the workbook is required. It costs $20. It's pretty cheap. And then if you want to get everything, all the optional items, it would cost, I believe, $82. So you still have some leftover money to use for other things. For more funding information, you'll have to talk to me later. Moving on, there's a big difference in teachers for this upcoming school year. You guys are going to be very used to having one teacher that oversees your family. And once you move into the grad program, I mean, much to many moms and dads' happiness, we have course specialists. So if you're scared of having to teach your child Math 11, you don't have to. In the grad program, every individualized and every online course has a course teacher that is teaching that course specifically. So I'm a math teacher, so I teach 6 different math courses in the online school. So I might teach your kid or your child in grade 10 or grade 11 or grade 12, depending. Now, these course specialists are separate for each course. So when you enroll in your 7 courses, you might have 7 different teachers that are teaching your child. One for English, one for socials, one for science, one for math, and so on. This is good because now you can, draw on a lot more knowledge. However, it means a little bit more communication. When you're having a problem with math, you have to go to the math teacher. When you have a problem with science, you got to go to the science teacher. All of us online teachers, because I'm a grad advisor, I'm also an online teacher, so all of us online teachers have Skype hours where we've allotted time to help our students. And so if you are struggling, you do have access to the teachers, whether it's an individualized or an online course, to get help figuring something out. In math, I often help lots of students, as they're frustrated with that question that doesn't make sense. Anyway, that will be one thing that'll be very different, especially if you've never had a student or one of your children go through the grad program. If this is your first child, if your oldest child is in grade 9 and they're going into the grad program next year, obviously this is going to be scary. You have to learn everything for the first time. But I am your guide along the way. So I want you guys to think about me that way. I'm available by phone normally 9 to 5, Monday to Friday. And if I don't answer, I'm either teaching or I'm in a meeting, and I'll get back to you, but you can leave a message. And then I'm also available by email. And for the next month, especially during this whole new transition of family, emails can be my best mode of communication if you have questions. If you re-enroll right now, we can already enroll you in classes, and you can even start that if you wish. I'm trying to think of other things that you guys are going to be worried about. One thing is, if you've been a part of learning groups, CC++, those really great and enriching in-person courses, they aren't as prevalent in the high school, and it is kind of unfortunate. There are certain regions that definitely have them. If you're in Kelowna or Vernon or Kamloops, some of those bigger places have a better chance of having a learning group that you can be a part of. I'm going to be trying to host a couple events for grad students from grade 10, 11, 12. Things like hikes. I've got my busing license, so I might be taking us on a hike here or there. I'm hoping that I can connect with families and students. But anyway, you'll get a lot more communication from me as you re-enroll for grade 10 and I suddenly become your grad advisor. So once you re-enroll for the next school year, I'm going to be looking at my class list, and I will see all of you as under my wings, and I'll be there to help you through those challenging times. So yes, grade 10 is going to be tough. Just personally, when I think back to my high school experience, grade 10 was my hardest year, just because there was suddenly a lot of higher expectations for work, higher expectations for length of assignments, higher expectation for homework, things like that. And if you're in music or in a sports team, there's lots of competing things, or youth groups, church activities. There's lots of things that will compete for your time. So you have to really figure out time management, as a 15-year-old, and it's a little bit crazy. And then, as you go through grade 11 and grade 12, you've kind of figured out a lot of different things, different studying mechanisms, and, hopefully your time management is pretty good by the time you get into grade 12, and then you can graduate. So hopefully this video has been just a little bit informational. I wish that I had time to give a phone call to each one of you guys, but because I don't have time, I thought this video would hopefully suffice, and I really do look forward to chatting with you guys, meeting you guys, and helping guide this transition into the grad program. I know that it's rocky. I know that there's fears. Maybe you're still working on finishing grade 9 courses, they're not done. Don't worry. We can do it. So God bless each one of you, and I really do look forward to just getting to partner with your guys' families in getting through the grad program. Take care.